Are you getting ready for the Praxis Elementary Education Reading and Language Arts exam? That's exam code 5002. My name is Hunter Tharp, and I'm a teacher and test prep expert for Study.com. In this video, we'll walk you through a few sample problems from this exam so that you're confident on test day and know what to expect on your exam. Ready? Let's jump in. As a student becomes more fluent in their reading, which of the following best explains what will transpire? Whenever we have a problem like this, whether it's a practice problem or one on our actual Praxis exam, the first thing that we should do is highlight what the key words are in the question. So as I look back at this question, the core of the question is that a student is becoming more fluent in their reading, and it's essentially asking us to predict what will transpire or what will happen when they become more fluent as readers. The correct answer is going to be that they become more focused on the content. This one is the correct answer because they'll be able to move through the material more naturally as they become a more fluent reader, and they won't be having to stop frequently to figure out the meaning of words that they don't know. Some of the other answer choices that we're given here, they'll be better able to predict outcomes. That is true. They will also know more about the structure of a story and become better spellers, but those three answer choices are not directly tied to reading fluency, whereas our last answer choice is where they become more focused on the content. For our next practice problem, it says which of the following would be the most effective way to help an English language learner with new word recognition? So again, we're going to highlight the key words of our question. We're looking for a way to help an English language learner. So we're looking for a technique or we're looking for a strategy. Of course, very important to note that the student in question is an English language learner, so they are acquiring a new language, and specifically we're looking at their ability to recognize new words. As we look through our answer choices, our correct answer is going to be preview some of the new vocabulary words before reading a book that contains the words. So why is this our best answer? Well, we have a situation where a student is learning English for the first time, and for them to be able to pick up on those words, especially words that they are not familiar with yet, letting them see it in advance will also allow them to know what to expect as they are reading. Whenever we're looking at some of the other answer choices, one that really stuck out to me was utilizing picture books and those with the text. Having students rely on a picture is not very helpful when they're trying to learn a new language. So that one is not correct. Some of the other ones, such as have the student study the vocabulary independently while the teacher reads aloud to the native speakers. Of course, that isn't helpful. That's not exposing the student to any new words, and them studying the vocabulary independently lacks the context that's required for reading. And then the last one is focus on word recognition and phonics instruction rather than other subjects until the student is fluent. Whenever we have a situation like this, it is true that these students still need phonics instruction, but if they are not being exposed to new words in conjunction with phonics, then it's not going to be a productive learning process for them. They both have to happen at the same time, not independently of each other. For our next practice problem, we have a question that says the words floor, some, and shoe are examples of which of the following. So we're being given three words and really just asked to determine what they are examples of, or what of the four answer choices they best match with. Our correct answer is going to be the first one, irregularly spelled words. Why is that the correct answer? Well, these words that are in question do not have any set pattern that they follow. So they deviate from any sort of pattern, predictable, teachable pattern that we instruct our students on. And because they deviate from that pattern, they become more frequently misspelled. The other answer choices here, such as a short vowel, long vowel, and two-syllable words, are not accurate because these words that are in question do not have any set pattern that they follow. And so it doesn't fit in with any of the other three patterns, which is why they are not going to be correct, but they are misspelled frequently because they are so irregularly spelled with not following that pattern. For our final practice problem, we have a question that says words that sound the same but may have different meanings are called blank. So with this question, I think that this is really just a vocabulary-based question. It's asking us to identify a word that sounds the same but have different meanings. And so this is one where if we know that term, if we know that vocabulary term, we're going to get this question correct. The correct answer is going to be homophones. Homophones meets that exact definition. They sound the same, but they may have different meanings. So for example, the word see and see, would be an example of one. Obviously seeing in terms of vision, but then see in terms of the ocean would be an example here. Synonyms and antonyms deal with words with similar definitions for synonyms and different definitions for antonyms. And then homographs deal with some of our phonics concepts. So that one is not dealing with just the pronunciation of words. So that's what leads us to the correct answer of homophones. I hope this was helpful. If you are looking for more ways to study, check out our other videos, and then also make your way over to study.com to check out our Praxis test prep courses. As a study.com member, you'll get full access to hundreds of practice problems like the ones I just walked you through, plus targeted instruction for any topics that you are still struggling with, as well as test strategy to help you maximize your score on test day. Finally, we want to hear from you. Please like and subscribe if today's video was helpful, and then let us know down below in the comments if there are any specific topics that you want us to cover next. Good luck and happy studying.